Sounds like we're headed down to a sock hop, Steve. You coming? Yeah, give me a mold on the rocks, buddy. Could it be? Not the threat of communism.
No, it's just the threat of Michael Jackson.
No, too soon, too soon.
This is the Kremlin, citadel of Russian communism.
The cameraman had the energy to
Looking
get
at
up.
Russia, we might see it as a country to be studied, as we study other nations of the world.
It's also the home of Donkey Kong.
Yet we know that Russia today is regarded as a grave threat to our nation, to our freedom, to the peace of the world. Why so? What makes it a threat?
Visit scenic Russia.
Looking closer, we see a clue. Public display of giant portraits of communist leaders.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, you know,
These
Lincoln
leaders,
Memorial.
by their actions, have caused the world to stand guard. Here, in Russia, you see the reason why so many nations are building up their defenses.
Oh, come on, they're just going to get a corn dog.
Here, in Russia, you see the reason why we are spending billions of dollars in defense production. Why your family is paying the highest taxes in our history.
Just wait until we get to the 21st century.
The leaders of Russia tell us their only concern is the defense of their own nation. Is this so?
Yes, the
Or are
mustache
they
is super.
ambitious for
He's
world
got a gun!
conquest?
Get down! Get down!
Question.
Oh,
A
okay.
question: communism.
Answer, guns.
Ever hear of Karl Marx? In his mind, communism was born more than 100 years ago.
He heard voices.
He looked at the world and saw men as divided into two classes: workers and capitalists.
Dumbasses.
In the Communist Manifesto, he called upon the workers, the proletarians, to rise up and overthrow their capitalistic masters.
More like the
He cried,
proletariat.
"The proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win.
What are they, guns?
Working men of all countries, unite."
Untie,
This was the
dyslexics,
promise.
untie.
And the challenge of communism.
You know what, if all you're going to give me is a fake
In
laugh, I'm
Russia,
outta here.
the Tsar was the
No,
governor.
you're not leaving
To
here.
support
Whoa,
the
look at
wealthy
that.
aristocracy,
It looks like she was
millions of
struck by a
peasants
low
toiled
flying
in virtual
bird.
slavery.
Oh no, her head's just on fire.
Oh,
The
okay,
Cossacks,
I see.
dreaded police of the Tsar, enforced tyrannical laws. Here was fertile ground for the ideas of
It's a scene
communism.
from a Western movie.
For here, indeed, the people had nothing to lose but their chains. The chains of the imperial government.
Oh, and their dignity, of course.
In 1914, the Tsar sent his troops into the war that swept Europe. For more than 2 years they fought. While at home, people suffered from shortages, brought about the despotism and corruption of the imperial government.
They ran out of potatoes.
The people grew rebellious. Only a strong army could
Yeah,
sustain
they
the Tsar in
have
power.
potatoes too, come on.
But revolution was preached on the battlefield, too,
The
to an army
battlefield?
broken with corruption. Inevitably, the Russian army surrendered.
I did
And
it,
with the
Joes.
defeated army returning under the banners of revolution,
Over
the
the Golden
imperial
Gate
government
Bridge.
fell, and revolution reigned. The chains were broken, and in
Bang.
violence was
Bang.
born the government
Bang.
of the proletarian.
Chitty bang bang.
But a government needs leaders.
Leaders? Could it be?
Ever hear of Nikolai Lenin?
Wait a second. I thought his name was Vladimir Lenin.
Yep.
Wow, you mean this movie presented a historically inaccurate fact?
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, the horror!
He was the first leader of communist Russia.
And he appears to be having a seizure.
Leon Trotsky was another.
Trotsky. And Lenin.
Lenin lived but a few years,
Yes, he was
and out
elected
of the
governor
vicious
at the
struggle
age of
for
3.
power that followed his death,
Come back.
Joseph Stalin emerged as undisputed leader.
Stalin?
Here was a new face,
What a homo.
but in the background was an old one.
Oh,
Karl
no,
Marx.
not Karl Marx again.
He established the ultimate aim of communism as world revolution.
Everything on Karl Marx.
Cool, cool,
And the
cool.
rulers of communist Russia, while firmly establishing their authority at
Yeah,
home,
bravo, bravo.
created
All
an
right.
international organization to stir up revolution throughout the world.
Appeared to be Dr.
Communism was
Frankenstein.
on the march. Stalin was in the Kremlin.
Okay.
But what of the people? The proletarians who had fought to win a new world. Their new world might look promising. But although the land had been taken away from the capitalists, the workers didn't get it. Under communism, virtually everything belongs to the state.
Well, it's time for the local commie bonfire.
The individual has little right to own property. or to plan his own life. He's
Fascinating.
told where to work with his employer. Little freedom to leave his job or seek a
You
better
just
one.
shoot your boss for a break.
Whereas we believe, and our religions teach, that the individual is all important, communism denies religion
And back to the
and
vodka
debases
factory.
the individual to a part of the vast machine that powers the state.
The machine also known as Voltron.
Children are taken early and molded to fit the machine.
Oh, it's time for an early morning Pilates class.
Here is no search for truth. The government writes the textbooks, and the children are taught to accept communism and their fate without question.
Initial here, sign here. Alright.
The Kremlin runs all elections, and the
Wow.
outcome is always,
I never knew
The same.
Versailles was in Russia.
if anyone dares to disagree, he's given a speedy trial without benefit of jury.
Where he is turned into a Sour Patch
Such
Kid.
traitors may be immediately executed or sent off to prison.
That guy has a goat beard.
The proletarians have nothing to but their chains. They have a world to win.
Please let us out of here. Come on.
Although the people of Russia gained little,
Whoa.
the rulers gained mightily in power. They built up a giant war machine, looking forward to the day when their flag would fly over the entire world.
Oh, say can
Then came the rise of Nazi Germany, another power bent on world conquest.
Looks like a balloon animal.
The two nations joined forces, and Russia, believing itself safe from aggression,
Ah,
launched an invasion of Finland and other neighboring nations.
whatever happened to the spinning newspaper demographic?
For the first time, the world learned that the
Yahoo!
communists were no longer waiting
Let's try out
for
the
world
dune
revolution,
buggy.
but were now resorting to outright military aggression to extend their power.
Yeah, people apparently just fall off tanks for the hell of it now.
After the Nazis turned on their former allies, we supplied Russia with immense quantities of military equipment to wage war against our common foe.
You mean we helped the bad guys?
And how did Russia come out of the war? In 1917, at the time of the revolution, Russia was already a land of vast area. Soon after the end of World War II, Russia had occupied many new territories, bringing
Vast.
additional millions of people under communist control, and serving notice that Soviet Russia was now a world power to be reckoned with.
And a truss bridge for some reason.
United with Russia in war, we strove to preserve that unity and peace.
By having tea with Stalin.
We helped organize the United Nations, in which the nations of the world have mutually pledged to cooperate in fostering world peace and progress.
Nuke 'em all!
Andrei Gromyko signed for Russia.
Keep that thing in your pants, man.
But in the first post-war Italian elections, the communists created disorder in an attempt to gain control of the government.
Scusi.
Once more, the world was reminded that basic in the idea of communism is the plan of world revolution.
Alright, wait, stop the movie. We have something to say.
You people are getting sick of this crap like I am.
Yeah.
A little intro for you of what's left.
Yeah, this is in lieu of the rest of the crap in the movie. Ready, Steve?
I'm ready.
Karl Marx!
Lenin!
Stalin!
Whiskey!
Oh no!
Birdman!
Bad men! This concludes our afternoon session. Please join us for part 2. Thank you.